Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Boxing. We're back again with another fight week, December the 17th to the 21st. So we're gonna cover what we got, planned for this week for sure. We winding down to the new year, So we only got a couple of more weeks, couple of more fights, and we got the biggest fight left this week with Usyk versus Fury. So we're gonna touch on that for sure. Alright, before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. Follow me on my social media, scrolling across the bottom. Twitter, Instagram, tap into the website, ldubsboxing.com. On the website, I got the schedule up, so I got it for the rest of the year. So you guys can tap in with that, see what we got coming up. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so tomorrow, we got a card out there in New York. You got Boxing Insider, so you can catch this card on the Zone. You know what I'm saying? You got some notable young fighters, up and coming fighters, and notable names on this card. Kurt Scobie is going to headline. Right now, he's campaigning at 135. He suffered a loss a couple fights ago, but he won like 3 in a row, I believe. He's facing Brian Jimenez at lightweight, so y'all tap in with him. Andy Dominguez is on the card. He's always an action-packed fighter. He just got one loss. Pretty good fighter. Nessa Rodriguez, the middleweight. She was an amateur standout in New York City. I think this is her second or third fight. Can't remember, but she's on this card. Dante Lane versus Pacino Hill. That's going to be action-packed. Dante Lane is a tall southpaw. He's a puncher. He's been knocking out everything since he turned pro. 5-0, believe 5 knockouts. Pacino Hill is one of those young journeymen. They can give these guys some good runs. So, yeah, man, pretty solid card, man. If you want to get to know these young guys, Kobe Williams, an undefeated prospect, is on the card. So, yeah, man, make sure you guys tap in. You can catch this on the Zone. You can catch it on the Boxing Insider YouTube channel as well. So, y'all stay tapped in. All right, here's a card right here. December the 19th from Dominican Republic. We got a world title fight on this card. Eric Roser versus Nader Valdez. This is for the vacant WBA junior flyweight title, so 108 pounds. This title was left vacant by Kenshiro. He was a unified champion at 108. He vacated the WBC and the WBA to go to 112. And he won the WBC title up there. So Eric Roser, man, he been out the ring for a minute. He's a good young fighter, southpaw. Not a big puncher, but he can box. You know what I'm saying? Part of that Dominican, flavor that's been kind of going crazy in the sport of boxing as of late. He just haven't been so active. So at 105, Roser was the WBA regular champion. He was supposed to fight the full champion, CP Freshmart. That fell apart. So he moved up in weight. He's still young. He trained with Ismail Salas, so he got his opportunity against the tough Valdez. So we're going to see. That division has opened up since Kenshiro moved up. Jonathan Rodriguez vacated his WBO and moved up. So it's some new champions. So, yeah, we'll see. You can catch this on the Swan Boxing YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys subscribe to that YouTube channel. Or if we got ESPN Knockout, it'll be on there. But for sure, we got another world title up for grabs. All right, speaking of vacant titles, here's another one. Now, this is under the radar, but this one is hella important for 115 pounds, right? Because we know Bam Rodriguez is the best fighter, pound for pound, top 10 fighter, top 5, however you want to put him. But Bam is in this division. He's the WBC champion. He need a dance partner. He need unifications. And some of the guys are not available right now. Next week, the week after this, the 31st, you got the rematch between Fernando Martinez and Ioka. They're going to fight for the WBA. So, originally they was going to do a rematch for the unification, Martinez and Ioka. But Martinez had an IBF mandatory that was due, Perez, right? So he had to vacate that title. So we're going to get Perez versus Calasco. So, listen. This is an under-the-radar fight. Like I said, it's important for the winner because they can get a big payday. Because Bam is looking to come back like April, May. And these guys, if they're available, they can probably fight a unification against Bam. But this should be a solid fight, man. This one is pretty much a pick 'em. I know Perez been mandatory and under the radar for a long time. Not really big high profile guys right here. So I'm looking for a link. This is gonna be in Japan, December the 21st. So early morning for this fight, man. I gotta get a link for this because this is interesting to me. Because this is like the path for Bam for undisputed. If he want to become undisputed, the biggest fight for him for Bam is the winner between Ioka and Martinez. That's the biggest fight for him. The WBO champion Kayfabe, he's going to fight Chocolatito, looking like in March. So depending who win that fight, they kind of like unavailable right now. So this one right here is a possibility because these guys, I don't foresee them demanding a lot of money, especially if they bring Bam back to San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? For a hometown fight and unification versus the winner. So that's why it's important because I'm looking down the line. So we'll see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Gray, what's good with you, bro? Salute. All right, keep it moving. All right, so this one under the radar card, you know what I'm saying, local card from New Jersey. Paul Bamba versus Porky Medina. We remember Porky Medina back in the day on the PBC when he was fighting Benavidez, Jalen Love, Caleb Plant. So he's been around for a while. He was dangerous back in the day. He's definitely faded. This fight is at cruiserweight. Bamba, I mean, he's a guy that was like he was in that YouTube circuit. You know what I'm saying? But he kind of switched that path and started to get real active. And now he's the WBA gold champion. So basically, like, put himself in position to be a mandatory. It's a dangerous fight for him because if Porky Medina is sitting, if you're going to sit in front of Porky Medina, I don't care. That might not be a good idea, but we're gonna see. I know Bamba has turned his career around. He had a bunch of wins in a row, a lot of under the radar wins. Just been staying active, so hopefully that will help him in this fight against a faded Porky Medina. So we're gonna see what's up with that for sure. Now, and another thing that's important. This is maybe the best path for a world title per se for Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake Paul he in tight with the WBA. Bamba used to be on that YouTube circuit. You know what I'm saying? If Jake Paul can actually make cruiserweight again, I can see him fighting the winner of this for that title, and then I can say, "Oh, I'm a world champion." You know what I'm saying? Because the gold title, to me, is something like the silver title in the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Now the gold title was supposed to replace the regular title. You know what I'm saying? Because the regular title was one of those titles that was kind of confusing the fight fans. And the regular title has mandatories. From my understanding, the gold championship is just a secondary belt, but don't have no mandatory. And put that fighter in line to be the mandatory for the big champion per se. So I'm just throwing it out there. This could be the quickest path to a world title for Jake Paul. I'm just saying. He probably can beat the winner, to be honest. All right. This what we've been waiting for right here. The rematch, Usyk versus Fury. First fight, it was a good fight, though. And it's unexpectedly a good fight. So we're going to touch on it. I like it. You know, the undercard lost some of its luster, but I think it's still a solid card. The pay-per-view price, I think it's like $20 or something like that if you guys tapping in with it. But I'm looking forward to it. You know, Usyk, he had a close, razor-sharp decision victory over Fury. I'm one of the ones that thought Fury won the fight. I thought when Fury clipped that 12th round, I thought that sealed it for him. But he did get dropped in that fight. It was a good, close, competitive fight. Fury was looking like he was going to go crazy, and Usyk turned it up. But we're going to touch more on that for sure. So this is an official card right here. You know what I'm saying? They just released this. So you got some new guys on the card. You got some of Usyk's stablemates. Daniel Lampkin is on the card. Nasavitsky is on the card. So they with Usyk. Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor. Now this one might be a pretty good fight. If you look at this card, you may think it's maybe not a good card, but it's actually some good matchups, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I think Isaac Lowe and McGregor are going to be a good fight. You know, McGregor, he's supposed to be like a world champion by now. You You know what I'm saying? I know when he was fighting at 118, he was like, he was solid. As a low, he keep getting opportunities because he rocking with Fury. But he's a so-so fighter. McGregor, I think McGregor is the better fighter, but their style's gonna match up. We have a new fight on this card: Peter McGregor versus Ray Edwards. So Ray, he was supposed to come back in January on a boxer show. Peter McGregor lost his opponent, Dennis McCann. McCann tested positive for a banned substance, so he's off the card. So it keeps Peter McGregor on there. That's a good look. We'll see. It's not a bad replacement for short notice, about a week notice, so that's not bad. Peter McGregor, he bounced back good after that KO loss to O'Quinn a couple of fights ago. So, he'll get a fight. They're trying to push him at 122 pounds. Now we got a couple of heavyweight fights that I think it's going to be fun. Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. That's going to be a fun fight, yo. Dave Allen, when he's right, he always bring it. He always in good fights when he come to fight. Now, he got some quit in him, and I don't really trust him. You know what I'm saying? This probably the longest camp he probably ever had. But when he's motivated, I guess he can fight. You know what I'm saying? But he just, I don't know, too many questions to answer. Johnny Fisher's on the rise. You know what I'm saying? Big, strong kid. He goes about 6'5", 240. Still learning. He had a nice knockout over Alan Babbage. Now, he's coming off some injuries, right? He was supposed to fight like in September, then October. They just scrapped it all together. And he's going to face Dave Allen. I like Johnny Fisher in the fight. I think he's a younger, stronger, fresher, more motivated, more dedicated to the sport type shit. So we're going to see. Then the other heavyweight fight, Moses Atomo versus Dempsey McKean. Very interesting. Dempsey McKean, 6'5", 6'6", 240, 245. Can box a little bit. I know he came off a loss to Herkovic. You know what I'm saying? Herkovic stopped him late. I mean, he was doing okay in that fight. But, he got the experience of Mutombo as far as, like, professionally. But Mutombo is like that. He might be one of the best young fighters in the sport of boxing. When you're looking at your prospects of the year type shit, I think Moses Atomo, this fight right here could solidify him as a prospect of the year going into 2025 with a good win over McKean. He would probably be a contender at this point because he haven't fought nobody to be on the contendership level. He's been fighting all prospect level guys. He's a guy to look at as consideration as prospect of the year. I know the big favorite is Abdullah Mason and 5-0, 5 knockouts. And then you had the Perro kid, the southpaw from Cuba, the heavyweight. I think Atomo is actually in that mix too, for sure. So, but this is a tough fight, I believe. Definitely a step up for Atomo, who is probably a couple of fights away from a big fight, especially being signed with Queensberry. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's interesting right there. A little too much a step up for Atomo. I don't think so. I think it's cool. I think it's cool because Dempsey McKean he kind of average to me. He don't do nothing that wow me. He got experience over Atomo to me, but like, okay, if it was Otto Wallen, I probably can agree with that. I probably can say, okay, maybe it's a tad too far because at least Wallen been there with top guys, right? When Dempsey McKean stepped up, you know what I'm saying, he just did okay. I mean, Wallen, he got his hat. He laid his hat on that Fury fight. The AJ fight, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then Wallen beat guys like Dominique Brazil, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But we'll see, though. We'll see. All right, so we got a new co-main event. Sergey Bogatyuk versus Ismail Davis. So it was supposed to have been Majumov, they had him scheduled for this fight and Virgil Ortiz. He came down sick, so he's just going to do the Virgil Ortiz fight. That figures. Bogatyuk, listen, he's a tough-ass fighter, bro. Strong, long and rangy, big puncher. Well, I don't know if he's like a big one-punch guy, but he's definitely a good puncher that'll wear you down for the duration of a fight, like thudding type of thing. Ismail Davis is a good athletic fighter. He took this fight on short notice. He trying to win. I respect it. I just think it's gonna be too much for him. I think Bochuk wears him down and stop him. This is the type of level Bochuk been fighting on 360 promotions. No disrespect to Ismail Davis, but when he was fighting on 360 promotions on UFC Fight Pass, Stand Active, he was fighting guys similar to this. Ismail Davis is coming off a loss to Josh Kelly. Put up a good effort. He was another late replacement, replacing Liam Smith, and he gonna step in again. But to me, he's on a certain level, and Bochuk proved that he's on a higher level. You know what I'm saying right now. You know what I'm saying? He can win a world title type shit. Cause I thought he actually beat Virgil in his last fight. He beat down Brian Mendoza. I think he's in the mix at 154. So I expect good things from Bochuk. I think he's gonna do the same type of shit, pressure, wear this guy down, and probably stop him. Probably like, after the midway point. So probably like 6 or 7 type shit. I can see it. Alright, back to the main event though. Like, listen, the first fight, it really surprised me how good it was. I was expecting a tactical fight all the way through, but it was tactical, but it was a lot of good stuff going on. I thought Fury got to a great start with his boxing. I didn't understand him backing up a lot of the times in the fight, giving Usyk opportunities to come forward and get his rhythm pretty quick. Fury was backing up too much for me, but I thought he was doing well though, counter punching. You know what I'm saying? Outboxing Usyk. In the middle of the ring, he was outboxing Usyk. He landed a nice uppercut that buzzed Usyk, some body shots. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing well. The tide changed when Usyk, every time Usyk stepped into the 8th round, then he got this thing I like to call the championship gear, where he turns that shit up 8 through the rest of the fight. And that's what happened. The fight was pretty much even back and forth. Mary Fury was ahead in a couple of rounds, but Usyk had a big 9th round. So he dropped Fury in that 9th round, hurt him bad. Fury had to get himself together, and I thought Fury did well by winning the 12th round. I gave the fight to Fury, real close, razor close. The closest margin. I had it Fury by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? So what's that? 114, 113. That's how I had it. This fight right here, some adjustments going to be made. Now everybody's thinking Fury going to come in heavier and he's going to lean on Usyk and get him tired and beat him up and rough him up. That's a tactic he can use. But what I noticed in that fight, the first fight, he tried that shit, y'all. Usyk was not accepting that shit. He was pushing him off. Usyk wasn't accepting the clinch. You know what I'm saying? So Fury tried to lean on him and hug on him. Usyk was getting up out of that shit. So that's a key. I think Fury, he was doing a lot of playing around like he always do. I think if he just stick to boxing, mix it up a little bit. He can come forward sometimes, push Usyk back. Yeah, that's another thing. Push Usyk back. You know what I'm saying? Keep him on the back foot moving, because he was on the back foot a large stretch of that fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think him leaning on Usyk is really going to be the game plan. See, it's different when he was leaning on Wilder, especially in that second fight. Or was a third? Well, all those fights, second and third fight, it's a little difference because Usyk got another gear they can get to. And Wilder don't really have that gear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and the tactics, like, you know what I'm saying? Usyk can get up out of that shit and then get his shots off. He quick enough to counter Fury. I like the fight, man. I don't know. I like to me it's gonna be another close competitive fight. I think I think Fury gonna win this fight clear this time. I don't think he's gonna stop him, but I think he's gonna win a close decision. I think it's gonna be kind of similar to the first fight. Let's see if Fury can keep his foot on the gas and kind of derail some of that shit during those championship rounds when Usyk started to step it up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think being physical and holding, I don't think that's going to work. I actually think that's going to work against him. You know what I'm saying? Because Usyk is real crafty in there. He can land little slick body shots. He can land combinations while he's trying to do that. I say stay long when you want to stay long, and when you're ready to fight, get in there and fight. And do your thing, but that leaning and all that shit, I don't know if it's gonna work. It may work against them, but we shall see though. The first fight was good. I expect the second fight to be good. A lot of people are picking Usyk. That's cool. It's one of those fights where you can pick Usyk. But I think Fury. I think he gets this one. You know what I'm saying? Clear. Maybe like a 116, 112 type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just do boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute. So it's a big fight. This is the biggest fight we have left on the calendar for 2024, and I'm looking forward to it. So y'all make sure you guys tap in. I think the pay per view is just $20 for the US if you guys gonna pay per view. But yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. So I want to salute everybody coming through the building. I'm gonna do a quick recap, then we're gonna close it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a lot of fights gonna be bouncing off each other. So we can, you know what I'm saying, we don't have to, ain't gonna be cards like running together like we had last week, this week. So starting tomorrow, December the 17th, this is a Boxer Insider. They're gonna be in New York City. You can catch it on the Zone or Boxer Insider YouTube channel. Kurt Scobie on the card. He dropped down to 135. You got Andy Dominguez, Nisa Rodriguez, Dante Lane, the prospect, 5-0, 5 knockouts. Look out for him. Southpaw. He putting everything to sleep. The 19th, Swan Boxing YouTube channel. You got a world title fight at 108 pounds. Rosa versus Valdez. You know what I'm saying? So Rosa, he been inactive for a long time. He was a regular champion at 105. He moving up to 108. And this will be his second fight at 108 pounds. So he can win a world title, a legit world title. Andrew Gray, I appreciate you, bro. For sure. There's a vacant world title fight, Perez versus Clasco. So I talked about this earlier. This is an important fight because these guys fight in the same division as Bam Rodriguez, and Bam is looking for unifications. He can lure one of these guys to fight him in his hometown, looking like April. You know what I'm saying? Because the other champions are busy right now. The WBO champion trying to fight Chocolatito. The WBA champion is fighting 2 weeks later. He's going to fight a rematch with Martinez versus Ioka. And that's the biggest fight for Bam at this weight. But these two right here, for the IBF title, they can get a big money fight against Bam. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to see who wins this one. This one's Japan. Paul Bamba versus Porky Medina. This is the WBA Cruiserweight Gold title, right? I talked about Bamba being real active as of late. Porky Medina is a veteran, but he's faded. So we're going to see what's up with this one. This is going to be in New Jersey. And then we got the Usyk Fury card. So they updated the card. Got a new addition. Peter McGregor versus Ray Edwards. So Edwards coming in on short notice. He had a fight coming up in January. Dennis McCann tested positive for a banned substance, so he out. So Peter McGregor got an opponent. I'm looking forward to the 2 heavyweight fights on this card. Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. I think it's going to be action-packed. Moses Atamu versus Dempsey McKean. Step up for Matamu. We're gonna see if it's too much of a step up. We're gonna see, but that's a solid fight. Sergey Bohachuk got a late replacement. Ismail Davis. Majamon pulled out, so Ismail Davis stepped in, and then Usyk and Fury the rematch. So not too bad though. You know what I'm saying? Not too bad. Yeah, he runs. Yeah, but I'm saying for sure. But to become undisputed, you got to beat these guys. You feel me? Georgie, what's good with you? Salute. I like that Bohachuk Davis match. Yeah, it's a solid fight for a late replacement though, for sure. And we'll see how much Davis brings to the table because Bohachuk, he a bad dude for sure. So yeah, man, I want to salute everybody that's came through the building. I appreciate you guys' time. You can follow me on my social media, scrolling across the bottom, Twitter, Instagram. Tap into the website. I got the schedule for the rest of the year of December through the 17th to the 31st. So I ain't covered the other fights, just this fight week, but I got the rest of the week, the rest of the month because we pretty much winding down 2024 for sure. So make sure you guys tap in with that if you want to reference the fight schedule. My man Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to you coming to the building with the super chat for sure. Appreciate that, man. Just do appreciate you, Andrew Gray, man. Salute to you guys coming through. Hopefully you guys can tap into this fight week. We still got boxing. It's slowing down, but we still got boxing to tap into. So make sure you guys definitely follow what's going on in the ring and the sport of boxing for sure. All right, man. I'm gonna close it out, man. I got my Ghostface beat popping. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna close out the night. Hopefully you guys have a good night as well. I'll see you guys on the next one. We out.